Thank you for joining us for another episode of A Letter To, where we discuss matters of the heart. And today I'm in a brand new place with a wonderful guest. I'll show you the place later. You're none of your business right now. But I am here with a wonderful lady, and I'm so glad that she chose to answer my request and be a part of this movement, of this podcast. So I'm so excited about her being here, where you get to learn about who she is and we get to see the evolution of where life brought her to. So I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. And my guest is.
Hi, everyone. I am Jenee Salako. And Cheryl, I'm so excited to be here today. Thank you for inviting me.
Girl, thank you for coming. Thank you for being willing to share your story, share your heart with someone else in hopes that your story and what we're doing encourages someone else to open up their heart and to allow whatever issues that they're facing out, whatever they're going through, to not continue to hold it in. We're just trying to be light, and we're trying to let you know that it's okay. You know, it's okay to be hurt. It's okay to have pain, but it's most importantly, we have to deal with those issues. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, issues that we have dealt with in our lifetime. So, Jeanette, tell me a little bit about your story. So, we're here to talk about an issue or matter of your heart that you want to talk about. Tell me a little bit about your story.
Yes. So life was going almost perfect until the passing of my husband. And so that's why I'm here today to talk a little bit about
The passing of your husband. Now, I know y'all looking at her.
that.
She young. Okay. She young. So what is she talking about? The passing of her husband, a young widow?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So how old were you when your husband passed away?
33.
Wow. I was a young widow at the tender age of none of your business. But I was in my 30s. I'm just saying. I married later in life. So I was 34 when I got married. Well, sure was. Hold up. I was just 1 year out, you know. No. You married when you were 20.
25.
Oh, okay. I
Mhm.
married when I was 34, but at least, you know, I had an opportunity to get married. But
Mhm.
I was a young widow, so he did not live as long either. So you became a widow at the age of 33,
Yes.
and you married him when you were 25.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Tell me a little bit about him. What is his name?
His name was Bankole Kalua Salako.
Ooh, that's a tongue twister. That's a tongue twister. I'm not even gonna try that. What's his nickname?
Banky.
Banky. Okay. Banky. Because all of that I can't do nothing with it. Hello? But I will murder. I will slaughter the name. No.
I don't even think I say it the best, but you know.
No. Oh my God. Okay. So Banky, how did you and Banky meet?
So initially we met, he was my tax preparer.
Okay.
So he prepared my taxes for me that year. But then I bumped into him at church. I was walking down an aisle. I went to go and grab a seat. This was a new church for me. Went to grab a seat, and I just so happened to look, and I said, "Banky," because we were on those type of terms where he at the time wanted me to call him Banky because
Okay.
his name.
Yes.
And so
Thank
I
you,
did.
Banky.
And so I
You in heaven,
said,
but thank you, sir.
so I said, thank you. And he turned around and he said, Jenee. And I said, hi. You know, it was so crazy. It was wild to me that I bumped
Wow.
bumped
Yeah.
into him at the church.
Definitely. Almost like so it lets you know that it was ordained because he had been
Mm-hmm.
doing your taxes for
Mm-hmm.
forever,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing came of it. You were just doing
Mm-mm.
my taxes, and then you meet at church, and he says,
So next thing I know, I got a text message. And it was like basically him saying he wants to go out on a date. We ended up going out on a date,
okay.
and I mean, he was just rolling. Everything was just
Wow.
moving.
Okay, so how long did you guys date before?
Marriage,
Yeah.
6 months.
See, it don't take long. When you know that it's the one, it don't take long. Girl, I was engaged 6 months.
Wow.
What?
Oh yes, 6
Girl,
months.
don't let these men string y'all along. It don't take long if you know it's the one. It's okay. This ain't about
Sorry,
that. I'm
sorry.
sorry. We went left. We back. We back. So you guys dated 6 months. He said, "Will you marry me?"
Yes.
Okay, I just got to hear a little bit about the proposal.
Absolutely. So our proposal wasn't anything like how you see on social media.
Oh yeah, they just make it so big,
Y'all,
so glamorous.
we were at a Chili's, y'all, me and him. Okay. I'll never forget it. We were at a Chili's and I remember the moment everything kind of felt tense, like more than usual. And so the next thing I know, he pulls out something from out of his pocket. And I'm never thinking anything. Like
Right.
I'm just, we just living our lives, we're dating. And again, it's only 6 months.
Right.
So the next thing I know, he says, I really like you. I love you. Will you marry me? And this sharp, hard accent, his accent was so strong, guys.
Oh my gosh.
And so next thing I know, I was froze. Like I just froze. Like I was like, I understand why they cry and do all of that stuff, but I was in shock. Like there were no tears or anything. I just froze like, this
serious?
is really happening to me right now.
Are you serious?
And then it's like right now, like appetizers, all that came out. Like he didn't even wait to the end. And so at that time, I was just like, yeah. I just said yeah. I remember I just said yeah.
Because you
Not
knew.
yes, yeah. I was like, yeah.
You
I
knew,
said it
right?
just like that.
Yeah.
That was it. I was like, yeah. And he looked at me and he smiled and I was like, you go, and he said, yeah. Because I don't know if he wasn't expecting me to say yes. It was like he froze for a minute, and then eventually he put the ring on.
Like he couldn't believe you said yes. Yeah, I'm laughing and stuff because I got proposed to at Olive Garden.
See? I'm not saying that's what you gotta do, but I'm just saying it was different. Times are different.
Kiss me, sisters. I'm like you. We had order, but yeah, it's not my story. I'll tell my story for another time. But yeah, I understand. So yeah, that sounds so romantic though, because it doesn't have to be, all planned and going to the beach. There's always everything. It was special enough for you.
Absolutely.
It was special enough for you. So you marry him after 6 months. So that means you were like 25, going on 26 at the time. So you marry. And then you guys have children, right?
Yes.
Okay. Talk about your children.
So our first year of marriage, he wanted to have a child.
Okay.
And I was the one who was like, can it just be us? And I remember I ended up getting pregnant the first year of marriage. Okay. And then I had a miscarriage. Oh wow. And then we kept trying all that year and it was just not working. And so that's when, I started getting really tense about the situation because I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. And so then the following year, I got pregnant with our son. And at that point, I felt like the queen. I felt like the mother. I was like, it's official. Yes. I gave him his boy. We're done.
They want a boy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, guys. Until, 4 years passed, and he was like, I'm ready for my daughter. And I was like, okay. Like there was no question. I didn't talk about it anymore. Yeah. I was just like, okay, let's do this. And we ended up having a daughter.
Oh wow! 4 years later. Have 2 children.
Yes, I do.
So you gave him 2 beautiful children.
Absolutely.
That is so wonderful. So you have this wonderful husband. You have this beautiful family, and then just all of a sudden, he's no longer here. Yeah. What led up to? Because I know in our previous episode we talked about, different losses and how sometimes you're able to kind of like prepare if it's like, somebody even given a terminal illness. It doesn't make death any, less easy.
But you kind of know what's coming.
Yeah. And so you kind of, people say they prepare themselves, but when the actual moment happens, it's still a different reaction. But what led up to, because Both of you were young, right?
Absolutely.
So talk about what happened.
Yes. So this was a sudden death. This was a quick death. This wasn't anything that anybody was prepared for. Um, he, we went to the zoo with the kids. We had a barbecue with my mom. All of the things, everything was our normal day to day fun activities, family things.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that he started to like slow down. So I was like, "You sick?" And he was like, "No, I'm not sick."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Okay." And I'm like, "You got COVID?" Like, cause I'm thinking
Yeah.
he's starting to have symptoms like, COVID.
Okay.
And this is, after COVID, but he was having symptoms that appeared like he had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "No, I don't have COVID." He was like, "I'm fine." And so I remember it was like it was like that Friday or so. I was like, if you don't go to the hospital, I'm calling the police on you. Just joking with him because like he took that really serious.
Yeah.
Like police, he didn't
Oh,
know.
okay.
Yeah. He was like,
You pulled it out the bag.
I did. And I never do it, but I was really
Because
concerned.
men don't like going to the doctor.
I was
Some
really,
men. I'm
I
not gonna say
mean,
all.
it was bad. Like I remember our daughter was laying on his chest and I could see like him breathing labored and then it'll go fast and then it was just weird to me.
Wow.
And so I was like, and he was like, "Okay, I'll go." So I remember everything was the same that morning. He he was the one who got our son up every day for school. And that day I didn't take our daughter with me to go drop him off and he stayed with her.
Okay.
And I remember coming and I saw and I was like, after I dropped her off and I was like, "Okay, we're gonna go now." He was like, "Okay, but first," he started to speak to me in his language in Yoruba, and I was like, "Thank you, it's me, babe.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jenee," because I was confused as to why he was
Go
speaking
into this
another
language.
language.
Right.
He's never done that unless he was joking around or something like that.
Yeah.
And so next thing I know, he started to kind of stumble in his walking. I was like, "Okay, we going now." So I get him in the
Right.
car. We go to the emergency room and everything was going like normal. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Them checking the vitals, everything was like normal. So I'm just like, "Okay, cool, we all right." We had already dropped my daughter off before we went to the emergency room. And at that point, they were like, "Yeah, we're going to keep him." He is actually, it looks like he's going into what we call diabetic ketoacidosis. And I was like, "What? He don't have diabetes."
Oh wow.
And so next thing I know, I was like, "Babe, you have diabetes?" And he's like, "No, I don't." Going in and out. And I was like, "I don't know what's going on. He does not have diabetes."
Yes.
And so next thing I know, they're running tests and everything, and they said they were going to keep him overnight. And so he was in a room at this time. And so he kept telling me, he said, "Honey," because that's what he called me, "Honey, go get the kids." And I'm like, "It's not time to," I kept saying, "It's not time to get them yet though." And I was just like, "You know what? I'm gonna just go pick them up early, take them to my mom's house so I can get back here, bring a hospital bag now that I know you staying." Just thinking it's that.
Right.
Gave him a kiss like I normally do. And then I went to go and get my son, took him to my mom's house.
Okay.
As I'm preparing the bag, I get a call from the hospital and they're like, um, "We need to put a tube in his throat. He's not breathing. He's not breathing." Like the lady is sounding like she's panicking. And I was like, "Okay." Like in my mind, I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I just need to get there.
I'm not
And
processing
so I'm like,
this.
"Yeah,
Yes,
do
yes.
do what you need to do." I'm thinking it's just some regular thing that they're doing. And
Right,
so
right.
I hurry up, I get to the hospital, and he is like not there. Like he looked like a vegetable. And I was like, "Okay, well, what's going on?" Because I just left and now he's unresponsive. That's
Right.
the language that they use.
Right.
And so next thing I know, they said, "Yeah, he's going septic." And I was like, what is going on? Like, I don't know any of
Yeah,
those
what's the
things that they
lingo?
throw.
What are y'all
Like, they
talking
just
about?
throwing, and it's like, I
Yeah.
get it. They're just trying to, they're doing what they do. And
Right.
so, next thing I know, I'm calling my mom. I'm telling my mom's like, wait, because she's a nurse. She's like, wait. Why is this happening? What is this? What is this? And she's like, I'm coming. I was like, Mom, you can't come. You got the kids. I'm
Right,
just
right.
telling everybody at the time, just like, calm down. It's probably nothing. They just got to do this.
Right.
And so next thing I know, it was like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and all I hear is beep, and I'm like, oh my god, and I'm freezing, and I'm seeing all of these people rush in, and I'm hearing Cold Blue and all this other stuff, and I'm like watching these people, do everything, and I was just there, and the next thing I knew, I just shut my eyes and I start praying, just praying, because I'm like, okay, God, this is what you brought me here to do. You wanted me to activate my faith, and I believe you can do it. Like, that's what I was thinking, right? And so then the next thing I know, he comes back. So I'm like, all right, God, all right, let's go.
That faith in
That's
action.
all it needed.
Okay, all right.
I'm here. Next thing I know, 5 minutes later, I was like, okay, now God, this is it's a little too much.
Yeah.
And so next thing I know, they finally, bring them back some kind of way, and like all these things that they were doing. And I remember the nurse, she came to me and she said, you need to call your family. And but how she said it to me, I was just like, I need to call my family because, because you just want to make sure I'm okay.
Right. Do I need support?
Right.
Like, what are you saying? Right. Exactly.
I was like, okay, I'm fine. So we're good. And she's like, no, you need to call your family. And I was like, I'm fine. And I was like, I'm fine. Because I'm in the room while all of this is going on.
Okay.
Nobody pushes me out. I'm watching all of this unfold. Yes. And next thing I know, I said, okay, this feels different. And when I remember seeing his body swell up, and I was like, yeah, this might be a little bit serious, and so at that point I started calling people.
So it didn't really. So to me, it sounds like. So I know you have faith, and I know you believe God because you prayed, but it almost was like you weren't really living it, or you were like watching it, and this can't, almost like this can't be real. It's not what it's not. That's what it sounds like.
I kid you not, and it's so crazy to say this, but I really thought I was in a full-blown dream, and I had to just go through the process.
Wow.
Like, it was crazy. Like, because I'm a dreamer. I'm a heavy dreamer.
Yes.
And so my dreams really feel like I'm in things for real. And then you know how you in them fighting dreams.
Oh yeah.
It was like that.
Okay.
I thought it was a dream.
Yes,
and I was just like, okay, you can wake me up now. I remember saying, like,
because you were so
calm.
It
was
crazy
like, how calm
it was like I don't know if it was like a grace or a peace that sat on you, because I'm listening to you tell the story, and it almost takes me back to my moment, what happened with me, but with me losing Ricardo. But to me, it just seemed like you were just at such, either you weren't there all the way, or God had just given you such a grace or a peace.
I think it was a mixture. I really believe it was a mixture, because at that point, I promise you, when I start seeing how the nurses and it was like their body language and the people's faces, that's when I was like, okay, wait, maybe this is something else. And that's when I start calling people. That's when I start getting intercessors. I was like, I need people here. We need to pray. We need to cover. It was just, that's what I thought my assignment was.
Okay. Wow. And then, so you called in family, you called in friends, so you started bring your support system started coming in. Did your mom come? Did your babies get there?
So that's the thing that I did not do.
Okay.
I called my mom, and the kids were with a friend, and it was, now that I think about it now, I'm like, was that a good idea? But at the moment, in that time, when I was thinking about it, I was like, I don't want their last memory to be them seeing their father with these tubes. The last memory that they have is what Evie was she was on her father's chest. Olighton, daddy getting me up, making me breakfast, like doing all of the things. So
Hmm.
in my mind, I was like, I don't want that to be something that
How they
scars
remember.
them,
Yeah.
because that's I remember. That's my I see that memory
Yes.
of him.
Yes. Oh, Lighton. That's your son's name?
Yes,
Oh, I
Olighton.
love that. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm sorry to steer. That's a oh my, that's a beautiful name. Okay,
Thank
okay,
you,
we're back.
thank
We're
you.
back. We're back. We're back. So you've called in your intercessors. You've
Hmm.
called in your friends.
Hmm.
So at that time, are people being allowed to come in the room to visit with him?
So yes, at that time when I started calling people, yeah, they were allowing them to come in. It's just it was kind of regulated to where it was only like 3 to 4 people at a time.
Okay.
Because then other family and everything else, it just started. It was starting to become a lot of people.
Okay.
So yes,
Okay. So everybody's coming in, and how does that so by this time you're realizing, okay, this is really happening. Something's really wrong with my husband. The people are coming and they're supporting you. Have you I mean, are you at the point to where you realize this could not end so well?
no, it wasn't even then. It got to that point, but it wasn't at that point. At that point, I really felt like this is our this is our assignment. We're like, I've heard people in the hospital rooms and they came back. I've heard people on ventilator. I heard all of these things before. Like, I just knew, like,
Right.
okay, like if it's a faith thing, God, we could go toe to toe with this. Let's
We got
go. That
that.
was really where my mindset was while
Yeah.
it was happening.
Right, right, right. I'm thinking, okay, so let's move further because I'm gonna say that question until we get to that point. Okay, so how many hours have passed? Everybody's coming to visit. Everybody's, coming to support you. How many do you can you remember how many hours before it actually got to the point?
It was 3 days.
Oh, it's three
3
days.
days.
Wow.
And I can't remember if it was sometime in June. I just can't remember. It was something that happened around that time where I remember, but it was 3 days.
Okay, okay.
Yep, day
So
three.
so on that third day,
Hmm.
walk us through that day.
Yeah, so they ooh, girl, why you gotta go and do that?
We ain't got to walk through, especially if it's
No, no, no,
no,
no,
no,
no. I
seriously.
promise you, I am finally at a place where I can go in.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, you have to know you in that place
Ooh.
because it was some things that I just could not discuss. I just could not relive it for other people. And then finally, I don't know how many years it was later, I was actually able to talk through it.
This is year three.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
finally hitting year three. And now I'm like, okay, I can go in there. I can really go. So
Only if
um
you're sure.
I'm positive.
Okay.
So the doctors started to come in. I mean, every specialist, and I just thank God for the people that He placed in my life, because I had my doctor nurse friend. I had everybody kind of set in place who can ask questions, because I wasn't
Good.
understanding. They were breaking down how the brain works, and I mean everything.
Right.
So day three came, and the doctors came to me and they said, he is brain dead. We have to, it's done. There is nothing else we can do.
Wow.
And I was like, I would never forget, I looked at my friend and she was just like, and I was like, okay. And it was at that point where I remember us praying right before all of this happened. Like, we went in this back room. I was like, they gonna tell me that everything is okay. He's just going through this phase. His body's gonna come back. I was thinking, okay, I might have to be his caregiver.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's what y'all say, for better or worse.
Yeah. Come on. Come on. Come
This is
on.
what I'm supposed to do. I'm
Yes.
ready. I,
Uh-huh.
I owned up to those vows. I was like, this is my person. So we gonna go. I gotta do whatever I gotta do until he gets better, and that's okay. And I remember we prayed in the room, and I heard so clear. I just believed that it was God. I heard so clear. He said, he is healed and he is whole. And I looked up after the prayer because there was this music playing, the worship music and everything. I got up and there was a piece, but I looked at him. I'll never forget. I looked at him and I said, I don't know what this really means because I see what you look like. But God said you're healed and whole, and I believe it. And we went into this other room, this back room, and then that's when they let me know he's gone. And you can give, he can give his organs and all of that other stuff. And I was like, yeah, well, he already told me what he wanted to do, so I had to honor his wishes.
Okay.
He didn't want any of that. He just wanted to be buried. Wow. And so I honored his request.
Of course, yes, definitely. Okay, so you heard healed and whole.
Mm-hmm. He said healed and whole.
I'm going to ask this question because you said you believed, by faith that God, because you had heard so many stories of people that probably passed away and came back, or people that were at the brink of death and God brought them back and restored them. How do you handle? I'm asking this question because
come in that thing, Cheryl. It's okay. I already know. Come on, say it.
I'm asking this question because I was there. I was there when they said,
and somebody there too.
So sorry, but he did it. I didn't even let them get the words out. I was like, I know you're not finished about to tell me my husband's dead. And he said, I'm sorry, and I lost it. But I'm on my knees and I'm crying and I'm saying, God, but you can bring him back.
Absolutely.
You can bring breath back into his body because you did it before. I mean, I'm just talking to God.
Yep.
And so that's so my question is, how do you handle it? How do you face it when he doesn't do what you thought he was going to do? Or, you had the faith to believe that he would raise, heal, restore, total heal, whole, on this side of town, on this side of the cloud.
That's what I thought it was going to be, on this side.
Exactly. So how do you cope with that?
Man, that was its own process. Because honestly, I was numb when they said he was gone. Because I couldn't believe it, because I'm like, God, I already know you could do it. You want me to go lay on the bed? Like, you want me to lay my body on his body so he can come back? Like, it was not registering at any point that this man was gone.
Yes.
I remember actually the wake, seeing him in all his white. I was like, okay, so you're gonna do it now.
Still believing.
Still, like, y'all, it was
still
I
believing.
know that's crazy.
No, I mean, because this was your person.
My person.
This was your soulmate. This was,
person.
This was your person. This was somebody that you had become one with. How do you cope with that?
So I didn't. I was numb. I never let go of the fact that he can't bring him back. He was in a casket at the wake, and I'm still like, you gonna do it now? Like, it wasn't until he was actually in the ground and I went home where I was like, okay, so you're not going to do it.